In this video, I'm going to be going over the top 5 best buy now cards at each position in NBA 2K23 My Teams, the top 5 best buyout point guards, the top 5 best buyout shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and centers. And if you guys don't know what I mean by buyout card or buy now card, is going to be any card for under 100,000 MT that you can buy directly off the auction house, and you don't have to wait for a bid card. For example, a Bull, a Giannis, an invincible Giannis, a Magic Johnson. These cards in the game that all go for 400 or 500k plus MT, they're not going to be considered buy now because you have to go ahead and bid on the cards, where a buy now card is going to be any card under 100k where you don't have to go ahead and bid and wait to see if you get the card. You can just buy them right away. So it's basically just going to be the top 5 cards at each position for under 100,000 MT. So at the starting point guard, not starting, but the best buy now point guard in the game, at least in my opinion, is going to be this Dark Matter Ron Artest. I've seen a couple for buy nows, and I've seen a couple end for 110,000 MT. So he's around that 100 to 110,000 MT mark, and I think he's a really good all-around point guard. Like, he's right on the cusp of being a buy now card. Like, I've seen a couple for buy nows at 100,000 MT, and then I've also seen a couple end for 110. So he'll probably be a buy now over the next couple of days. He's a really good 6'7" point guard though, with a 6'10" wingspan. He's honestly one of the best defensive point guards in the game, having a 98 block, 99 steal, 99 perimeter, 98 interior defense. He's got almost every single Hall of Fame defensive badge in the game, and then he's actually really great offensively with the Marco Fultz base, the Rudy Gay upper on very quick timing, is a super knockdown jump shot, and then he's also got really good dribble sticks. He's got the tray fade, and also amazing defensive tendencies with a 98 on ball steal, 85 contest shot, and an 85 block shot. So I think Ron Artest 100% is the best buy now point guard currently in the game. At the number 2 spot, I do think is going to be the Hero Turkoglu, a 6'10" point guard who's got such a good jump shot. Like, I think he's still got to be somewhere in the top 5 range if we're talking about the best buy now point guards. 6'10" at the 1, 6'11" wingspan. It does have a great jump shot with the John Stockton base, the Trae Young upper on very quick timing, and then he's also got the Kyle Lowry size up. He's got the Curry escape, so pretty good dribble sigs, and all around I think he's easily a top 5 buy now point guard in the game. At the number 3 spot and 4, I think is going to be really close. I got Dark Matter Shea at 3. He only goes for about 60 to 70,000 MT, maybe even a little bit lower. And then I do also have the new Dark Matter James Harden at the number 4 spot. I think both these point guards are very similar and are great for being a buy now. Like, you get Shea, who's a top tier point guard, 6'6" at the 1, 6'11" wingspan. I think he's just a little bit more well-rounded than a card like James Harden. I like Harden's jump shot more. I think this card might move a little bit better in game, having the Kyle Lowry size up and the Trae escape, but that really just comes down to preference. And then he also does have the quick drop soft 1 and the front clutches, but I do think Shea's the better defensive card, not by a lot, because James Harden, he does really make up for with his offense. 6'5" at the 1, 6'10" wingspan. He's got an amazing jump shot on very quick timing, and then he does have the Harden size up, the Curry escape. So I think both these cards, for being a buy now, are going to be super close at the point guard position. And then to round off my top 5 best buyout point guards in the game, I think at number 5 is going to be the Dark Matter Manu Ginobili, a card that only goes for about 50,000 MT, maybe even a little bit lower, which I think is really good value for a great offensive point guard. Like, these last 3 point guards are all very similar because they're great on offense. Manu 6'6" at the 1, 6'9" wingspan, really good all-around stats and badges, and then does have a pretty solid jump shot, the D-book fade, and the best dribble sigs in the game, the Steve Francis size up, and the Trae escape. So really close between James Harden, Shea, and Manu Ginobili, but in my opinion, these are going to be the top 5 best buy now point guards currently in my team. Now I'm talking about the next position, which is going to be the top 5 best buyout shooting guards. Also, guys, buyout and buy now is the same exact thing. I just say sometimes differently, but it's both going to be the same thing, a buy now and a buyout. So the best buyout shooting guard right now in the game, I think, is actually Vince Carter, and he's very similar to Ron Artest when it does come down to his price. I've seen a couple of Vince Carters for 100,000 MT, but then I also see him end for like I sometimes see him end for like 110 or 115. So he's around that 100 to 110,000 MT mark, but I think he's definitely the best buy now shooting guard in the game. He's 6'6" at the 2 spot, 6'9" wingspan. He's still one of the best offensive shooting shooting guards in the game, and just one of the best shooting guards in general, having a 99 driving dunk, 99 vertical. He's literally unstoppable going to the basket, and then he also does have an amazing jump shot with the Kyle Kuzma base, the Vince Carter upper on very quick timing, and then he's also got pretty good dribble sig. So Vince Carter, easily the best by now shooting guard right now in the game. Now at the number 3 spot, I think might be a little, or at the number 2 spot, I think is very obvious going to be Ricky Davis, but I think at number 3 might actually be really surprising to some people, and that's going to be the new dark matter Caron Butler. I think he's actually super underrated at shooting guard. Like when I tried him out, I thought he was amazing. I thought he was amazing at shooting guard. 6'11", or sorry, 6'7", 6'11" wingspan. All around just has great stats and badges. Nothing to really complain about with Caron Butler. You know, just a really good all-around card. He's got a great jump shot, really good dribble sigs, quick drops off one, front clutches. His defensive tendencies could be a little bit better, but I was really surprised with how I was very surprised with how well Caron Butler did playing game. And then also Ricky Davis is going to be the second best buy now shooting guard. I mean, he's always been a top tier shooting guard since he dropped. He's got such a good jump shot with that Seth Curry base and the Oscar Robertson upper that I do think he's the second best by now shooting guard in the game. Now to talk about number 4 and number 5, I think they're going to be completely two different shooting guards, but at the number 4 spot is not going to be Shea. It's going to be the Galley Simple Big Z, who's now down to about 50,000 MT, like 40 to 50k, which is crazy good value for a card who's 7'3" at the shooting guard position. And then to round off my top 5 best buy now shooting guards, I do think the new dark matter Jason Richardson is actually not that bad. I think he's on that Caron Butler type of level, maybe a tad bit worse, you know, because I think his jump shots maybe a little bit worse, but another really good, you know, a very similar card to Vince Carter. I would say I do like Vince's jump shot a little bit more, and maybe his dribble sigs a tad bit more, but very similar cards, you know, Jason Richardson and Vince Carter. But these are going to be my top 5 best buy now shooting guards right now in season 7. Now going over to my top 5 best buy now small forwards, at the number 1 spot I think is really close between number 1 and number 2, but I think I still got to give it to the Hero Scalabrine. I mean, this is basically a perfect small forward card. 6'9" at the 3, great all around stats and badges. His jump shot is the exact same release as Jonathan Bender, except it's going to be on very quick timing. He's got the Steve Francis size up, the tray escape, Dame behind the back, quick drops off one, front clutches, you know, perfect defensive tendencies. He's basically the perfect small forward in the game, and I think he's most likely still going to be the best buy now small forward. At the number 2 spot though, I do have the dark matter Jonathan Isaac, who's right around the 100,000 MT range. I think he's about 80 to 90k, and he's going to be such an elite defensive card. I mean, this man really does bring top level defense to your squad, being 6'11" at the 3, 7'2" wingspan. He's got a 98 block, 97 steal, 97 perimeter, 97 interior defense, and then he still gives you solid offense. Not going to be anything too crazy at the small forward position offensively, but if you need a bucket, he can definitely still get you one. And then for the last 3 spots are going to be buy now cards that are super cheap but still great at the small forward spot, and that's going to be at number 3 AK-47, a great two-way small forward. At number 4 is going to be Thurl Bailey, just a budget version of Invincible Giannis. And then at the number 5 spot is going to be a really good offensive small forward, and that's going to be the Hero Kyle Kuzma, all under 50,000 MT and all great value at small forward. And these are going to round off my top 5 best buy now small forwards currently in the game. Now going on to the top 5 best buy out power forwards, at the number 1 spot is actually going to be a new dark matter from the Rush Chat, and that's going to be the dark matter Bill Walton. I think he's so amazing at power forward, being 6'11" with a 7'3" wingspan. He gives you such good defense with a 98 block, 94 steal, 96 perimeter, 98 interior defense. He's also really athletic, 93 speed, 93 acceleration, 92 vertical, 92 strength. And the more that I've used the card, the more that I like him, because when I first tried him out, I was really iffy on the card if I did like him or not. But the more that I've used him, he's super quick. He's got great dribble sigs. He moves like a guard in game. He's got a very solid jump shot, quick drops off one, front clutches, defensive tendencies are amazing on Bill Walton. I think for around 100,000 MT, going to be one of the better value power forwards in the game, and I do think is the best buyout power forward currently in my team. But for the number 2 and number 3 spot, it really just comes down to, do you want offense or do you want defense? Because Dirk at number 2 and Dwight at number 3, I think are very similar on the skill level when it does come to power forward. I think Dirk's more of an offensive power forward, you know, 7'1" with a 7'3" wingspan, has a great jump shot, you know, 99 3 ball, 99 99 mid-range, almost every single Hall of Fame shooting badge in the game. He can really shoot the lights out at power forward. And then you got the complete opposite at power forward in Dwight Howard, a guy that's going to be similar heights, similar wingspan, but he's going to be more known for his defense. 98 block, 96 steal, 98 perimeter, 98 interior defense, and has every single Hall of Fame defensive badge in the game. And I still think can be a great offensive power forward, but I do think Dirk is slightly better just because of his offense and having a little bit more size at that power forward spot. And then for the last two positions, or the last two spots I should say here, is going to go to Dark Matter Kevon Looney and Dark Matter Joel Embiid. Both very similar power forwards. Embiid's got definitely more size. I think he's 7 foot with what, a 7'5"? Yeah, 7 foot with a 7'5" wingspan. Amazing all around stats and badges. I just wish Joel Embiid had a better jump shot. I think that's the thing. I think that's really the only thing holding back Joel Embiid is his release, because his SIGs, you know, his jump shot, you know, could definitely be improved a little bit, but his stats and the badges are top tier. And then you got Kevon Looney, who is a playoff Evo card, 6'9" at the power forward position, 7'3" wingspan, has a great player modeling game, almost every single Hall of Fame defensive badge, and super athletic and amazing defensive stats. So these are going to round off these two guys are going to round off my top 5 best buy now power forwards in the game. And then on to the last position here, the top 5 best buyout center cards. At the number 1 spot, I think it's got to be Marc Gasol. I still love this card in game. I think he's really solid, you know, for his price tag of now only about 40,000 MT, maybe even a little bit cheaper. 7'1" at the 5, 7'4" wingspan, and can really do it all. He can shoot, he can play make, he can defend, he can pass. Like, he can really do everything at pretty much at a super high level. And then at the number 2 spot, I do have the playoff Brook Lopez, who's another really tall center, 7'1" with a 7'5" wingspan. Has a great jump shot with the B elites at base, the Brook Lopez upper on very quick timing. I think he's got to come in at the number 2 spot. And then at number 3, I think he's really close between a couple different cards. I want to put Bill Walton in here as well, because I think he's got to be a top 5 buyout center, as well as the best buy now power forward. And then to talk about the other two guys, I think it's going to be Pink Diamond Peter, and then I think it's going to be the Dark Matter playoff Mitchell Robinson. Both really just tall, give you good defense. I think it's close between these two center cards. I like Peter's jump shot a little bit more, and I think he's a little bit better offensively. But yeah, guys, that's going to be my top 5 best buy now cards at each position. So these are my top 5 best buy now point guards, top 5 best buy now shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, and then centers as well. Yeah, let me know what you guys do think about my ranking, maybe some stuff you guys would change about it, and maybe some other really good buy now cards that you guys think could be in this top 5, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.